Hello and welcome to today's training on how to beat applicant tracking systems. For those of you who are not familiar, applicant tracking systems are automated systems that scan potential candidates' resumes for particular keywords. According to jobscan.co, you'll see here that 90% of large companies use ATSs or applicant tracking systems to search for qualified candidates from large applicant pools. So what they do is they scan those resumes for certain types of keywords that are programmed in. What I'm going to teach you to do today is to use a applicant tracking simulator, particularly jobscan.co, and you can see that address right there, jobscan.co, not .com.co. And I'm going to show you how this works. And so this is for jobs that you find that are listed on job boards. Job boards being things like Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Career Builder, ZipRecruiter, things like that. Now keep in mind, with any of these jobs that you find posted on these job boards, as always, you want to go to the company's website and apply from the company website and not from the job board. It is always much more beneficial to go to the company website and apply from there than it is to apply from the job board. So assuming that you're at the company website and you're applying from the company website, what is it that you do to increase your chances of beating the applicant tracking system? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sign up for a free account from jobscan.co. And this free account is going to give you 5 free scans of your resume. And anytime you scan a resume, whether it's the initial scan for a job post or if it's a rescan and that you've updated the resume to more closely match that job description, that counts as a scan. And I'm going to show you later in the video how to get up to 100 more free scans from jobscan.co. So what you're going to do when you go to there and you sign up and you have your account created, you'll come and you'll see something like this little box on the initial page. And once I log into my account, I'll show you there. But what happens is that JobScan wants you to put your resume in this window that's on the left, and then they want you to put the entire job description over here on the right. So what I would recommend that you do, it says to paste your resume in there. I recommend do not do that. Do not paste your resume. Actually use the upload button here. And the reason that you want to use the upload button is because some of the things I'm going to teach you to do, I want you to be in the habit of using the upload button. It's going to put some things in the document in a way where you can't cut and paste it easily. So we want you to use the upload button most of the time. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to paste the entire job description in this side. You will copy and paste that from the company's website into this side, and you'll omit the about company section, the thing where it says it's full-time, things like that. You're going to be looking from the title of the job all the way down through the preferred qualifications. Okay. Job duties, description, all of that will be included. Now I'm going to show you how this works by doing their try the sample resume and job and show you what happens is, so it pastes those 2 items in there and then it scans them. As it scans them, you'll notice here that I am a 69%, with this particular resume, it's a 69% match. The goal is to get between 80 and 90%. 90% being the high end of that, because some applicant tracking systems, if you go much higher than 90%, you start getting in the 95% range as a match, it will kick you out of the system and disqualify you based upon not being a legitimate person, because nobody's a perfect match for a job. So what this has done, JobScan will give you a good feedback on the things that you need to do to your resume to change that, right? Now, for most people that are clients of mine, you're not going to worry about this word count piece here. We're going to work to stay inside of 2 pages, and so you're okay there. But you're going to want to read all of these things that it talks about needing to do, right? Now, interestingly enough, when you come down here, this is the really important part. You'll notice here that there's a list of hard skills and soft skills and other keywords. And you'll notice those X's that are there. Well, one of the things that you have to do is you have to hit this show more button on each one of them. See how many X's I revealed by hitting the show more? So you'll go down here, you'll hit show more, and you'll do that, excuse me, on all of these, right? And so here are the keywords that I'm missing out of my resume. So what I would do at this point is I would go back into my stories, whether they be in the chronological section of my resume or in the functional section of my resume, and I will look for places where I can put words like customer experience or operational analysis or user-friendly, market segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify the resume for each job. So once I have my base resume open and say this job was a job with Amazon, once I modify that resume, I'm going to save that as breedlove _ Amazon _ operations manager resume. Okay. But you'll notice when you go through and you're doing your stories that some of these words you just can't get into the resume and the resume makes sense. For instance, you might not be able to get management experience in there or Kindle Fire. So what do you do in those instances? In those instances, what you're going to do is you're going to do as I've done on this resume, you're going to go to the bottom of your second page here, and you're going to double click to open the footer, and you're going to type keywords, and you are going to put those keywords that are true of you into the footer of the second page, and you will make the text smaller there as well. It doesn't need to be the same size font as the rest of the resume. So you can shrink this down. You'll see on mine, I have this shrunk down to number 10 size font. I could even shrink it smaller if I needed to. But that's getting those words in there. And by the way, this footer on the second page is why we want to use the upload function rather than the copy and paste, because it's not easy to copy and paste this out of there. So you'll want to use that. So as you do that and you get those words plugged in there, you're still going to have a couple of X's that you can't get in there. And I'll show you inside of my account where that comes from. But you'll want to go through one at a time. You'll say, okay, where can I put customer experience? Once you have customer experience plugged in, where can I put operational analysis? Once you do that, where can I put user-friendly? And you just go through the list, started at the top, and work through all three lists and making sure you've revealed the whole list. Once you get those words either into the footer or preferably into the body of the resume somewhere, then you save that resume, and then you use this button on the side that says update resume and rescan. And so you'll click that, and this is where you'll use this upload button here to upload the new copy of the resume, and you'll rescan. Okay, so let me show you how this works with an actual job that I scanned, and I'll walk you through some interesting things here. I'm going to log into my account. Now that I'm in, you'll see that I have this job here that I've scanned. This is a training and development manager position. This was with a local company in Kansas City, and the job description for that is right here. It's a training and development manager position. This is a position that I looked for, found, and I am very qualified to do this position. Now, most of you know that I write resumes for a living. It's part of what I do. So what I did was I designed a resume from scratch for this particular job posting in order to see how well I could do on my own beating the applicant tracking system. When I did my initial scan of the resume that I created for this, here in this bar area, I was a 42% match. 42, which means it's very unlikely that I'm going to get an interview. So what I did at that point is I scrolled down and I looked at all of the words that were missing. I expanded all of these different categories and looked at all of those different words that were missing. So one of the areas where I was missing words in here was this learning management system. I was missing that. right? I have extensive experience with learning management systems, but I didn't have that wording written that way in the resume. So what I did at that point is I came into my stories and I began to read them. And I looked at the second bullet under training and development, and I noticed here's where I talked about learning management systems. But I did not have the words learning management system written exactly that way. And it needs to match exactly how they have it written there. What I had there was online learning systems. So what I did was I changed that to learning management system to get that word in. You'll notice another word that I was missing in here initially. You can't see it because I've changed it, but I initially had an X here on E-learning. So what I had done is down here in this particular bullet, I changed this bullet to say the E-learning department rather than the online learning department. I walked through this and I did this for everything that I had skill-wise, that it's soft skills, hard skills, and other words, other keywords, and I matched them all up and I got those plugged in, but I still came up with a list of words that I was unable to get into the resume that were true of me. I believe I'm passionate. I have passion. I'm motivated. I'm innovative. Definitely know how to use Microsoft Office. So what I did at that point is I opened this keyword section at the bottom in the footer of the second page, and I typed those words in that were true of me and my experience. But you will still notice in here that I still have some X's. This was this hard skill of social sciences, which I do not have. So therefore, I did not put it in the resume. You'll notice down here, manages, directs, facilitating. I purposely left some words out because I didn't want to be too close of a match. I've done all of those, but I wanted to leave some of those out so that I wouldn't flag as being a fake person. Once I updated and rescanned the resume, you'll notice that I was an 82% match on that. So in order to test and see if this was really worthwhile, what I did at that point was I went ahead and applied for the job with the company. And I saved my resume. You'll notice here, I saved it as the name of the company, even though it says Inc. is actually Paces. That's why I saved it, Breedlove Resume Paces. And then when I applied on the company's website, I uploaded that resume to their website. Within 30 minutes of hitting the submit button, I got an automated response from their applicant tracking system saying that they had reviewed my qualifications and that I met the minimum requirements for an interview. And if they were interested, they would be reaching out to me to set that up. Within an hour and a half from hitting submit, so only an hour after I got the automated email, I got an email from the recruiter wanting to set up a phone interview. So this is how beating an applicant tracking system can be done. And you want to get that idea of beating the applicant tracking system comes because you want a human being to read your resume rather than just the computer reading it, because if just the computer reads it, you're likely to be disqualified. So we have to beat those ATS systems in order to do that. And again, you'll want to do this all on the company website. So if you have questions about how to use jobscan.co, please go back and review this video again. If you still have questions, then feel free to email me and let me know what those questions are. Thanks for listening. I hope this is helpful.